G'day guys, welcome back to Supercoach Swordplay. It is time to open up the mailbag. Around 40 questions, I think, tonight. Obviously flying solo. The other boys hopefully will be back for the next one, but I'll do my best to go through these questions that you got. How many do you have in total? 42, so just over 40. So thank you very much to everyone that has sent in a question. As you know, I don't have all the answers. I may absolutely butcher this. I wish the other boys were here to help me out because I don't have all the answers at the moment. Not that I ever do, but I'll do my best to help you out anyway. But yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, hasn't it? We're going to start with Ollie here, and he's already a legend in my books because look at that avatar. He looks like he's a Lions man. G'day, Ollie. Hey, boys, love the potty. Been watching for the last few years. Just looking at Grundy. He has the best run home for Ruckman according to DFS, tick. With a break even of 72, tick. Coming off 160, tick. And as Richmond this week, big tick. Can't afford Gawn and have Sherry. I want to trade Flynn out ASAP. Love the work, lads. Well, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. I must admit, I wouldn't be looking at Brodie Grundy personally. I've got him well below, obviously, the top two, the big boys in Gawn and Sherry. Now, you already own Sherry and you can't afford Gawn. So that's a bit of an issue. The bloke that I'd be taking a good look at is probably TDK coming off his bye. So you know that he's not going to miss another game. You've always got that lingering worry in the back of your mind that they could mix things up a little bit and bring Pitto back into the side. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see it happening anyway. I'm not a Carlton man. This is probably a Janath question if we're talking about Mr. Generational TDK, but he's probably the bloke that I would be looking at. Rowan Marshall obviously has a bye this week, but huge break even. He's probably done his best work. I'm hoping he can come back for those people that have got him. Some people have even taken a look at someone like a Jared Witts, has a really nice matchup if Kieran Briggs is out, but I probably wouldn't be going there. Darcy Cameron's the other pod that I don't mind, but it's probably TDK for me, given the fact that he's already had his bye and he's had a pretty fair season to date anyway, mate. So all the best. If you want to go with Brodie, then that's fine, mate. But the good thing is, if you've got... No, I was going to say you haven't got Flynn at flex. So you've got, obviously, Flynn and Sherry. Yeah, Flynn at R2. Probably TDK for me, buddy. All the best, Ollie. Next one, Stavy. How are you, mate? Hey, gents. I'm thinking Richards instead of Bont this week and going early with Mills. Ooh, a little bit risky, but as we'll leave me with 43K in the bank for Nazaya next week, that's very nice. Still have 2 upgrades required after this with no cashola for Gawn. Yeah, lots of people that don't own Gawn. It's going to be hard to get him in, isn't it? But he will be coming down a little bit more in price, which is handy for you. We had this discussion on the potty, so I highly recommend that you go back and listen to that one, buddy. But we rated the 3 picks, the 3 Bulldogs guys in Bont, Richards, and Libba. And all 3 of Spills, Janath, and myself, not to say that it's right, had our ranking with Bont, Libba, and then Richards. So I probably prefer Libba slightly over Richards, and we gave a lot of reasons why there. But if it really helps with your future long-term plans, I think that's okay. But keep in mind, Bont has an amazing Marvel run. I think it's 9 out of the last 12 games. And take a look at his average there. It's going to be a bloody scary non-own, particularly with his upcoming fixture as well. So I would almost just pay up a little bit extra for Bont. But if you think it's really going to harm your team long-term, try to be disciplined, and you could go with your Richards. I still think he's around that top 8 to 10 for average from here until the end of the year. So all the best luck with that one, buddy. But yeah, it's going to be a hard anti-pod not owning the big Bont. Lockie, hey lads, is it viable to go the rest of the season without Bont? Plans are Stone. I like the fact that you got plans here. Stone and Cleary to Pedler and Clark. Yeah. Roberts and Lashcroft to Butters and Nass next week. That's a very nice couple of upgrades there. Nevitt and Carroll to Chad McCarthy. Sheldrick to be my M8 until we can afford another mid 500k mid. Or is Bont a must-have? Well, we just did our tiers and our rankings, and we did have Bont as a must-have. In saying that, though, and it's similar to the advice I just gave before, you've got some really nice plans in place here, and I'm really impressed with that. It's just the captaincy scores. If you don't own someone like a Bont, you've got your Sherry, which is a really, really fantastic option, but Bont's just that next level type captaincy option. I don't know how low he's going to get. It might be a little bit lower than what he is now. Who knows? But he's got a pretty scary upcoming fixture, as we mentioned a lot in the pod. I'm going to say it's team dependent, but he's very, very, very close to a must-have in my books because Bont is on a different level. But yeah, all the best on that one, Lockie. Sammy Roberts. G'day, Sammy. Totally stumped what to do. Been battling the last 2 weeks with poor scores. 12 trades. Is worth going Flynn to Pedler. Rowan to TDK. Looks a bit off in TDK. Is a nice run coming up. Don't know if I do Sard to Shearer, Dale, or Lindsay to Bont, Libba, Dale. All right. I probably wouldn't get in Shearer or Dale. I would be going the Bont or Libba for me personally. Dale, look, he's going to be around the top 8 for average, but he can be a bit of a frustrating pick. So I don't mind Flint to Pedler. Rowan to DDK, I'm not huge on, but I do like Lindsay to Bont or Libba as well, Sammy. So a tough week for trades, mate. Hope you make the right one. All the best, buddy. Daniel, hey, dude. If you had to choose one, Walsh or Kennedy, yeah, we put Walsh as a pass in our tier rankings in the podcast, mate. He's just not doing it at the moment. And Kennedy, I think, given the fact that he's a forward, has a much better chance of finishing in the top 8 for his position as compared to what Walsh will in the midfield. So I'm definitely M. Kennedy over Walsh myself, mate. All the best, bub. Ronnie, hey, lads, please choose a mid who isn't named Dame Dawn. I'm guessing that's Dawson. Brayshaw, Neal, or Dunkley can afford any mid apart from the Bont. All right, so you've got Neal, Brayshaw, Dawson, and Dunkley. So you can't go the Bont. Well, I'll definitely look to get Zach Butters in, not this week, but most likely the week after, mate. So what I'd be looking to do is to focus on another line that you've got and then really focus on Butters next week because I'm assuming he'll be around, well, under the 550k mark, depending on what he scores, depending on how what Bedford does to him. I think that is probably what I'd look to do anyway, mate. You've got, the Gold Coast boys. You've got Noah Anderson, who's in great form. You've got Rao, who's a little bit cheaper. You've got Caldwell as a bit of a money type play, potential keeper premium. That's probably what you want out of the pick. So, yeah, there's a few different ways that you can go about it, but I'd probably be planning for Butters if you can, mate, or else go with potentially like a Caldwell type play if you can't afford the Bont. Muddy, please. Hey, buddy. Always got a good question. Tips for staying in shape, mate. I'm the last person that you should be asking about this. Look, I'm a PE teacher by trade, so I've got to stay in half decent shape, but I have a shocking sleep routine, shocking diet, all the rest. I'm the wrong person to ask. We need Spillsy on here, the man with the big pipes, and also Janath, who was a bit of a health professional here, the doctor. So we're going to park this one, Marty, because I'm not the expert here. We might get Spillsy onto this with his big pipes next week. Good on you, mate. Please. All right. I'll call you Uno. Uno, how are you, man? Question 2. Oh, I haven't got to your first question, man. I'm sure we'll get to that one. If this was my team, what would I be doing? 223k in the bank. It's hard to see. All right, Sinclair, Whitfield, Zorko, Sheasel, Naz, Roberts. Cool. Brayshaw, Neal, Tom Green, Dacos, Shearer, Oliver, Lashcroft, Lindsay. The 2 big boys, nice. Baz, Track, Warner, Rankin, Daniel, Gray, Marriage. All right, so you need to upgrade 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd probably think 5, but 4 at the minimum, mate. So you got to be planning. I don't know how many trades you've got, but you do have 223k in the bank. I'd be most likely moving on Flynn, I think, this week with his break even. I think he's probably done his job, and Sherry should give him an absolute bath, I think, mate. And with 223k, you'll legitimately be able to get any player that you like. You've already got Clark there. Okay, fast, mate. Look, if you want to get rid of a dead rookie, you could get some extra DPP maybe in your midfield and bring Kako there, Huswaite up, and then get a peddler type in. If that tickles your fancy. Oliver's probably the big one, mate. See how he got 58. I don't even know his break even. He's probably one that needs to go. So, yeah, probably 5 that need to go. So, given the fact you've still got 5, I don't know what your trade situation's like, mate. I would most likely be avoiding your Bont type picks, those really expensive players, and doing a bit of bargain hunting. So, bargain hunt, work out what your trade scenario is like, how many players you need to get in, and then you might be able to target a couple of those absolute top liners. But 223K in the bank, you'll be able to do a little bit anyway, mate. So all the best of luck with your trades, bud. Matty, how are you, man? Hey, boys, considering these trades from a team, been targeting Bont for round 13. I can get him in with Clark and McCarthy. Not real sure on McCarthy, though. I feel Eagles will need him soon enough. Thoughts? Love your work. We did mention, we think it's extremely dangerous, mate. Extremely dangerous. Look, there's a lot of hype about him. Seems like a really solid player, but he's entering the AFL system, a whole different kettle of fish. So will he get named this week? Who knows? We know how dangerous it is with Minnie McWalter. Think of our experience with Gross, Clay Hall. It hasn't been Bo Allen, to throw another one out there. So I would not be going early myself. But in saying that, if you need someone at the price, he's someone I would go with anyway, because at worst, he can become a loophole with DPP. So I don't mind it, but yeah, I'd never recommend going early. So in saying that, though, these are all close to must trade outs, aren't they, with a break even? Really nice in, really nice in. Yeah, look, do you know what? If that manages to get you Bont and you really like Bont, I think that's fine, mate. Always risky, but yeah, I don't mind that because I really like your outs anyway, Matty. So all the best luck, bud. Supercoach HQ. Hey, mate, how many primos can we have out in the round 16 by? The spawn of Satan created that by around GWS, Brizzy, Cats, and Zach Reed. Thanks, boys. Absolutely, mate. So I'm asking myself the same question. So I'm losing my voice. I just did the potty and I've had a very long day, but I'm going to get through. I personally have, so I've got Whitfield, I've got Dunkley, Zorko, Neil. Did I say Neil? No, so 3 Brisbane boys, so that's 4. And then Whitfield. 5 is Baz. And that's me with Levi, who'll be done by then. So I've got 5, and I don't feel like I can really run with 6. So I think that 5 is probably the maximum that you want to have out on that buy round. Again, and that's what stopped me from getting Holmes in. It's what stopped me from getting Caldwell in. Potentially Zerrett the week before. I don't want to have more than 5. So that's the advice that I'd give. But maybe people would stretch it out to 6. Some may even go 1 less and say 4. But I'll say 5 is a max anyway, mate. Bugger of a buy, though, isn't it? Is legend. H, how are you, brother? Need to have a good chat. It's been way too long. So I'm going to have to pause this and coverage it. My voice is going. Hey, boys. Trade thoughts this week. Is Lindsay, Trainer, and Huss to Holmes, McCarthy, and Clark worth it? Jeez, it was very similar to the other trade, wasn't it? We just saw. Or Levi, Trainer, and Huss to Whitfield, Pedler, and Clark. Hope you're all well. Yeah, love you, mate. So going McCarthy in the first one. Lindsay, Trainer, and Huss weighed out. Levi, Trainer, and Huss. Oh, it's so tough because I don't like going early on McCarthy, yet I want to hold Levi. Pedler, Clark. Oh, man. I wish you could go Bont with Pedler and Clark. Lindsay, Trainer, Huss to Holmes. Do you know what, mate? I would almost go your second one. That's so tough, mate. I wish I could be on the fence, which I can't, but we're going to chat during the week. I do like Whitfield because you're getting, Levi's out that week. You are bringing Whitfield in. Pedler, Clark, I think are both all right. Clark, you're getting both. Holmes. So it's sort of Holmes. Yeah, almost number 2, mate. But that is such a tough call. I'll definitely chat during the week, mate. Give us 2 secs. I'll have a break. Sorry about that. I'm back. I think I'm getting crook. Where are we? H. Yeah, all the best for you, brother. We'll have a chat during the week, man. Clayton, how are you, mate? Hey, boys, rank 688 overall. Very nice. Looking to get Bont, but can any of you entertain going Liberated Richards instead, 50k less? Talked about it on the potty, mate. I will just pay up for Bont. That's what I've realised. But again, if you look at your next 2-3 weeks and that 50k can go close to guaranteeing you something, you can go for it. But I'm probably at the stage now where I'm just paying up for the beast. Abs, how are you, my man? You probably talk to Abs about fitness, Marty. I think he's big in his abs, a great man too. Had many mixed responses to this move. Your thoughts, fellas? Gone to Bont and banked 64k. Fake Gorn's rough fixture run while taking advantage of the great Bonts. Oh, it's an interesting move, mate. And I like the fact you're looking outside the box, but I can't advocate trading Gorn out of my side. Look, you're making 64k, which is amazing. But to anyone that doesn't have Max Gorn, ask them how they feel week to week watching this man play. Now, I know it was only 110, which is one of his lowest in a long time. And he does have a bit of a rough fixture run. But in saying that, he is, again, similar to Bont, just on another level, isn't he, with Tristan Sherry? So I would definitely be holding on to Gorn. And he's the type of bloke, even with that rough fixture, that can still take the P155, I think, Ab. So don't mind the fact that you're looking at something like this, but I couldn't recommend trading out Gorn at this stage, mate, even though he will be going down in price, and we know that. But, I'd be holding at this stage, mate. All the best luck, Abs. Uno, here's your first question. Legends playing for league rank number 1 at the moment. So good, mate. A little bit different playing for leagues. I like that. Sard to A. Clark. Tick that off if you like. Yep. Flynn, should I go to a primo value or drop to a rookie and use the cash to upgrade Lindsay Ashcroft? Any other is welcome. Round 13, same for Butters via Lindsay Oliver. Yep, like that. Should I go to a primo? Drop to a rookie. I would probably just go to a primo for Flynn if you can, mate. I always like trying to do that because I don't think there are too many rookies that are scream and pick me, mate. So I'll be definitely going up if you can. All the best. Carrots, afternoon, mate. Hope everyone's enjoyed their day. Thank you very much, man. First time taking this somewhat serious and just wondering if you guys would go Bont this week. Excuse me, or a Hewitt Rosie to help with buys and cash and hope Bont drops that little more. Wanting Butters Nas to finish off the last spots tap. I think in this situation, Rosie with your cash. Look, Rosie or Hewitt, I actually don't mind. On George Hewitt, Janath was talking about the fact that his handball to kick ratio has gone on a bit of a downward spiral. So a lot more handballs than kicks. It was a lot different to the beginning of the year. So, yeah, that puts me off slightly there. Look, I think that Bont is close to a must-have, but you've got your future plans here, Butters, Nas. If getting in Bont means you likely can't do that, I think it's fine to fade him, mate. So, yeah, it all depends on that cash and what your projections are. So sort of get the calculator out, mate. Do a few maths. And if you think you can do it with the Bont in, then definitely do that, mate. But if not, fine to not go in. Logs, hey, man. Merrick to Bont and Bice to Clark already done. Beautiful. At heavy cost, bloody oath. Not sure I can finish with 23 great primo, so probably ignore a spot and pretend my flex is there. Think I need to look at a third trade, Puda Peddler, I think, but open to suggestions. Yeah, look, I think that Puda Peddler is okay. If you are a believer that the Poo is going to find form and going to come back, you can hold on to him. That is okay. But at the same time, he may lose a little bit of cash in the short term. He's got the buy this week. I heard he's going to be fine after the buy, but I do think that that's fine because it does open up some cash to be able to upgrade some other premiums. So while Pooh's got the buy, maybe losing some cash, in the next 2 weeks, Peddler may make his 70-odd K. So, yep, I think that is fine, my man. AJ, what's each of your boys' worst any pod for the year? For me, it's easy. Gone. Yeah, well, I would absolutely say Gorn. I've only had him for 3 weeks, so he's definitely been my worst anti pod of the year as well. I think that it could potentially be Marcus Bontempelli. So that's another reason why I think I'm going to jump on him this week. So Gawn for me so far. Bont, he's only really had those 3 big games, started the season late. But yeah, he was a bit of a tough one for me not to own. But for those people that don't own Gawn or Sherry, you're just unwatchable, aren't they, I think? Causa, ladies man, hi mate. Thoughts on these trades? Really like these trades, but can also do Libba Richards for Campo. Jeepers, that's good. I was trading Marek until O'Connell got dropped, so couldn't. Yeah, okay. Spargo had to Gray, so I have 16 trades and boost. All right. So Causa. Jeez, you are going the boost here. All right. So we're getting rid of Trainer tick, Marek tick, Hasty tick. I like the Ashcroft hold. Clark tick, Cripper, Bont tick, Peddler's fine. How much money you got left in the bank, Causa? I'm not sure about Cripper, man. I don't like Cripps, Causa, but can also do Libba Richards for Campo. Yeah, it's really that Cripps selection, mate, that I just don't like. I know that. Do you know what? I would almost. No, I can't say chair over him. Look, Janath said that he has been pretty consistent. So, look, if you like his run, Causa, you can go for it. I think he's lacking those ceiling games for me, mate. That's probably the main issue for me, those ceiling games. But Bontin's really good. Would you consider, instead of Bont Cripps, like a Libba Anderson type? I suppose, though, with Cripper, you are getting that extra game, aren't you, over some of these other premiums? So, look, yeah, not the worst Causa, just not a massive Cripper fan, mate. But if you've got the gut feel, go for him, buddy. Absolutely go for him. DV, who is a better rookie, Clark or Peddler? I'm thinking Clark, mate. If we look at job security and if we look at price, I think he probably wins out on both of those. I suppose Peddler, early pick, mature body, played more senior football than Clark before. So, look, he may have a few ticks to him as well, but I would be saying Clark at this stage, mate. Is now the time to get Bont and Butters? Now is the time to get Bont. Next week is the time to get Butters. If he gets really locked down by Bedford, though, may be the week after that. But, yeah, Bont is the one you get now. Butters is the one that you wait on, buddy. All the best. Kata, how are you? Legend. Shout out to your young fella and fam as well, mate. Hey, gents, would you prefer to finish with 22 great primos and a rookie as flex, or 23 primos with a few slight speculative picks? Great question, mate. We did talk about this on the potty. And the way I think we were describing it, Spills was talking about Bont as a Ferrari. And the point that I made was that, look, if we're getting these Ferraris in now, then that flex spot, it may be like that old VN. Whereas if we don't get the Ferraris, we could almost have 23 Rolls Royces. So, look, I'm not a car man. I'm assuming Ferrari is better than Rolls Royce, but Rolls Royce is still, you know, real quality type stuff. So, it's such a tough question, because when I really think about things, all right, this is what I'll say, Kata. If my 22 great premiums included Sherry, Gawn, Bont, Whitfield, Sinclair, Butters, and Brayshaw. I know that might be asking a bit, but that's, you know, some of the higher price type blokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who else will I chuck in there for good measure? I'll chuck Dacos in there, even though he's cheap. You give me those 8 blokes in my side, and I'll take 22. But if I haven't got the Gawn Bont quality type there, then I'm definitely going your 23. The thing that we need to remember as well when we're, and I'm not saying this to you, Caddy, you know this, mate, as a veteran coach, but to anyone else maybe that's new to the game and is listening, is that when we get to our final teams and we've got this flex position, we're hoping and we're pretty much knowing that unless injury strikes, we're not worried or paranoid about getting a sub score on field like a Boxall, any of these type of blokes that we're just desperate to try to field at the moment just to get some extra points on. So that's one thing we need to keep in mind. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, but if one of your premiums does go down, we've got like a Tom Green type injury with that 5 last year, then yeah, it could hurt a little bit more. But yeah, if I'm getting the best of the best, I think I'm okay with 22 Kata. But if it's not that absolute high echelon with basically all those big names there, probably not for me, mate. I'll be going the other way. Great question, though, mate. All the best, bud. Hey, guys. Have Bont, Sherry, and Gorn. Very, very nice. Who would you VC and see? Yes, I talked about these on the potty as well. We would be going Sherry into Gorn because you don't have to take even a 130 type score from Bont as a VC, given Sherry's matchup this week against West Coast. So Sherry into Gorn for all three of us this week, mate. Rain Man, the legends keep on coming. Hey, mate. Gents, I need some wise counsel. Unfortunately, mate, it's only me and Janath and the other boys aren't here. So I don't know how wise this counsel's going to be. Do I pay up for X? Boys, Ray, help me with this. I'm a traditional tight ass and hate spending up, as am I, even though I did the Gorn move for the cash league. But that was to win cash. So yeah, not too tight at the edge. Options are trade Levi to get X or hold Levi and bring in Dacos. Already bringing in Bont and Clark. You're bringing in Bont and Clark. Beautiful, mate. Bringing in Bont and X in 1 week is so good. Look, other people have a different opinion about this, and I don't want you just to take my advice, but I am of the strong opinion that Tristan Sherry is a must-have. I think he's a must-have in your side. He has to be the worst antipod in the game, doesn't he? Probably even more than Gorn, I think, at this point. Or very much on an equal level. Dacos, I think you can probably still bring in after the bye without having to absolutely break the bank. X this week against Flynn could be priceless as a VC or captain option as well. And I know it's only 1 week. I totally get it, mate. But in a bye week where we need some ceilings, and I get it's the easy bye week again, but I'm just huge on X. And I never say that we should pay up. But do we see him failing anytime soon? I just don't. So with this, I'm assuming big score in the system, he then most likely becomes unattainable at a decent price for the next 2 weeks again. So it's like I'm putting it off. And then, how long are you going to wait for him to come down if you're still keen on him, mate? So I'm going to say get X in, but holding Levi and bringing in Dacos is, again, a fantastic move in itself. So love the fact you're bringing in Bont and Clark. If you could add in X and Bont in the same week, man, you're living life, aren't you? So X for me, mate, but could be very wrong there. All the best, legend. Broads, how are you, mate? Hey, fellas, new listener to the pod this year. Love your work. Appreciate you, mate. Thanks for coming on board. What are your thoughts on those with Flynn at R2? I think we need to try to trade, but it's awkward, isn't it? Hold mate for Gorn or grab TDK with a good run, an extra game this week. I would be grabbing TDK, to be quite honest, mate. You're getting him at a pretty good price. As you mentioned, he does have that extra game, has a nice run. So as tough as it is, I'd be getting in TDK. And who knows, if you've got the luxury, you've got that flex position to bring in Gorn if he does come down. So, yeah, TDK for me, mate. Losing the voice again. Hawksy, g'day, fellas. Here's a team. 12 trades going into the round. Forward line is an issue, but with Bont being such priority, do I take the punt? Toyed with Merrick, Flynn to Bontempelli. Don't mind that. Merrick, Flynn, Carroll, Kennedy, TDK, Clark. Don't mind that. Let me know what y'all reckon. Oh, it's so tough, isn't it? Because I like that. I don't mind that combo at all. You're getting rid of Merrick and Flynn in both scenarios. First one's, when I say 1 up, 1 down, a huge 1 up and the 1 down. But with the third one, you are bringing in that extra premium, aren't you, with Carroll? So you're turning Carroll into a premium by doing that. What's your forward line looking like, man? It's so hard to see. Daniel. Oh, is that Erasmus? Yeah, you probably do need to invest in a forward, though, don't you? Long, Will Ashcroft. Jeez, you could move up to flex. Look, the responsible side of me, mate, says option 2. In saying that, though, it's going to be a tough non-owned bond. But as someone in the same position, in many ways, I'm going Bond. So I'll give the advice that I'm not doing, mate. But it's such a tough question, isn't it? Harold, hey, Harold. Thoughts on these trades? If it's no, any suggestions? Rank 620. Well done, mate. We'll leave me with 10 trades, 41K in the bank. Final 3 upgrades will be Butters, Mills, and a Fallen Primo, Horn Francis, etc. Should have 3 to 4 trades left over for injury, etc. Thanks, love the content. And thanks for tuning in, mate. That's nice to have 3 to 4 trades left over for injury. So thoughts on these trades? What are we doing, mate? Out O'Connell, Hall, and the Shees. McCarthy, Bont, and Clark. My issue with the Shees, and look, role at the moment is terrible, but he could come back to that role. And at 516K, we've already lost value on him. How low can he go type stuff? I think even in the role, he's too talented to go much lower. We talked about the fact that McCarthy, we don't even know if he's going to be selected this week, unless news has come through and I'm not aware of it. And we've seen what I've mentioned this before, we've seen what Mini's done with your Gross types, your Hall types as well, who you're actually trading out of. So I'm not huge on it, mate, getting Shees out. But you want suggestions if we say no. McCarthy. Oh, is this with want in? Okay. So I'm guessing this is with you doing your trades, mate, already. Yeah, so Bonk, Clark, McCarthy. Yeah, so it's a little bit hard without seeing who you've actually... Oh, no, I can see who you trade out. Yeah, Shees. All right, so I would be... Actually, he's probably the bloke that you... Maybe, unless it's Levi. I'd probably be looking to get Levi out first if you can. But if cash is an issue in doing that, then yeah, I think you actually could get out of him, mate. But I think for most people, they got out of him last week, given the fact that he had the bye. He won't miss another game, as other players will. So, yeah, up to you, mate. You are ranked in the top 700, so don't listen to anyone like me. But thanks for tuning in, Harold. And, yeah, don't mind that, actually, mate, looking at your team. Mav, sorry, boys, already asked a question. Oh, good man, but just wondering who should I grab as M8? Midfield, Bont, Richards, Andy, Butters. Jeez, it's strong. Neil, Merritt, and Dacos. Damn, man. I'm going to say Jordan Dawson, because I really like that finals run that he's got. That last 4 weeks, at least 2 out of those 4, he should go nuclear, I think. So I would be adding Jordan Dawson to your mix, mate. Thanks, Mav. Dusted Knuckles, 2 scenarios. One with trainer dropped, one with him picked. If he's dropped, I can hold, not lose cash. Avoid Flynn losing cash and Stuart gaining. Basically, bank me 30K. Would have 3 upgrades, minimum 2 forwards, so most targets, sub 5, 20, 10 trades. Jeez, a few options here. All right. Trainer bias, Facade, McCarthy, Bont, Mills, Houston. Jeez, a couple of pods there. Do not mind that at all, mate. You are getting to, well, low-tier premium, potential mid-tier premium, top-tier premium, no premiums. So I don't mind that. It's different. So both have Houston and Mills. So this one, Houston Mills without the boost. Back out, Stewart. Bice, Ashcroft, Davidson. Oh, sorry. Okay, so Bice, Ashcroft, Davidson, Flynn, Houston, Stewart, Bont, Mills. Bice, Ashcroft, Davidson, Flynn. Yeah, I like that, man. I like this. I think I like number 2. Number 2, I think dusted. But again, might be a team sheets thing on trainer, mate. All the best, bub. Luca, hey lads. 12 trades left, 1 pont this week. Nas Roberts next week, and Butters as my last primo in a few weeks. Beautiful. Option 1 gets rid of Lindsay early, but leaves me 100k left for Roberts to Nas. Option 2 gets rid of the dead rookies, but uses more trades. Okay, Huswaite and Lindsay, Clark and Bont. Carroll, Huswaite, Simpson, Clark, Bont, McCarthy. Now, I would just wait, man, and see what happens with Tom McCarthy. I don't think you need to do that. So I would be waiting on that one, buddy. Dalek, hey guys, hope all is well on you too. Thanks, man. Currently almost 300k in the bank with 12 trades. Huswaite to Clark, Lashcroft to Bont. Yep, sweet. Almost 100k for next week to grab Butters. Do you think this is reasonable? Absolutely, I do, mate. Huswaite to Clark, Lashcroft to Bont. Yes, absolutely, man. Totally reasonable. I think that's great. Good on you, mate. Mav, Rosie versus Dale for my D5. Have Sinclair, Whitfield, Zor, Clark as my primos in the fence so far. Look, you would need to look at matchups. So go to DFS. Probably Rosie for me, just given the fact he's got that DPP. You can always move him to that flex spot, to your midfield. So 3 positions for him there. I think he may be a little bit more consistent than Dale. So I would probably have Rosie just ahead of Dale, my man. But either one could easily finish there. And we had them right next to each other in our tier list on the potty. So check that out, mate, where we have a bit of a chat about both. Jared, so far, 2 out of 2 in my predictions. Club scoring better with Chocky. Dog would be top 3 forward. Nice work, man. Rank my crazy predictions from 1 to 3 being most likely. Sheldrick outscores the Chad from now to season's end. Bailey Dale finishes D1. Dogger finishes R2 based on average behind Sherry. I reckon they're all crazy, man, but rank them from being most likely. All right, I'm going to say the most likely is Sheldrick to outscore Chad because technically he could get injured. So that could absolutely happen. R2 based on average behind Sherry. Dale finishing D1. I'm going to say Dogger at R2 and then Dale at D1 because if Shrek goes down, the man, he could be a very, very bad man. So, but I do need to look at fixtures. I'd need to really, think about this, but that's how I'd quickly do that, Jazz. But hey, I say they're crazy. 2 out of 2 so far. So well done to you so far, mate, with your predictions. The Gerbs, hey, man. Thing to go on 2 down, 1 up this week. Levi, Maxwell, and Sard out gives me 980k to use. I need 2 primo mids, 1 primo forward to complete my team. Who should I be targeting? So, Sinclair, Dale, Zorko, Holmes, Roberts, Carroll, but you got Clark there. Yep. Bray, Green, Dacos, Rosie, Chera, Sarong. 2 spots in the mid. Smith, Truck, Warner, Rankin, Daniel probably there. Yeah, so I'd be looking at bringing in Horn Francis when he returns from injury, or potentially someone like a Jack McRae. You'd love to have a Nick Martin there, potentially as well. You're probably not in a position to be trading out your Rowan types for now. These 2 positions here, you'd love to have the Bont and Zach Butters. Strong's coming back there. So Bont and Butters. And if you were to go, say, a Roberts out, I think your Whitfield or your Nas are the ones that I'll be looking at. And also maybe Jordan Dawson or a Noah Anderson type in your midfield as well. Actually, you got to get a dog in with that run. So Liberal Bont, I'll be thinking, Jerb. So just a few random names to throw at you, my man. All the best of luck, and I'm sure we'll see you on the lives as well, Jerbs. All the best, mate. Stan, I'd love to know your thoughts on this one. Carol, Flynn, Merrick for Clark, TDK, Holmes. Yes, I think that's fine. Or straight swap Merrick for Bont, keeping Flynn up to the West Coast by... I like your first one, mate. TDK and Holmes both have really nice runs. TDK's already had the buy. Yeah, as his Bond, though. But yeah, I don't want to keep on to Flynn. I reckon Flynn and Merrick. See you later, boys. So that's why I'll be going, Stan. All the best, man. Jaded, hey, boys. Hope you're well. Thanks, mate. Pick 1. 11 or 10 trades left after these. Pryor plus Merrick to Bont and Clark. Cleary, Nevitt, and Merrick to Bont, Clark, and McCarthy. Cleary almost got a trade out, man. That break even's terrible. Could you? Oh, I'm almost going number 2 then, because Cleary, I don't know what Prize break even is though. But if Cleary's break even is much worse than Prize, probably number 2. But I don't like getting McCarthy early, mate. Big fella, hey legends, should I hold Cleary or Lash? If I trade Lash, I can get any forward primo instead of Pedlar. Thoughts? I'd be holding Lash for sure, man. Merrick, Cleary, Pryor, Bond, Pedlar, Clark. Nah, do that, mate. Yeah, I'd much rather be doing that. Holding Lash, I think, buddy. I may be a little bit biased in saying that, but he's got the talent, mate. DPP, last buy. So, yeah, I'd be holding on to Lash for now, mate. Jace Weekends, hey, boys. None of the primos coming off their buy are at their lowest for me this week. Could get Bond in this week, but that will make my future upgrades really hard. Most of us are in the same position, I think, Jace. I'll double upgrade next week and get Butters and Hewitt, which makes upgrades easier money-wise. Later thoughts. I think that's fine, brother. I think that is fine if that's where you want to go. Clark, McCarthy, Pedlar, Sard, Merrick, Flynn. Damn, it's a... Oh, but you are losing lots of points on field, man. I would almost, if you're going to get Butters and Hewitt next week, I would almost, mate, instead of getting McCarthy, this is going to sound strange because obviously Hewitt's got a big break even, but he's got a really nice run, a really nice fixture run. And I think overall, he's not going to lose that much. He may be a bit cheaper next week, but I would rather pay a little bit extra for George Hewitt this week, knowing that you're going to get him in next week anyway. And it gives you that extra security just to at least have a look at McCarthy. Like if he's subbed, injured, whatever, it would be such a devastating move because you're not doing much with him, are you? In regards to trading, you can't trade into anyone. So I'd probably get George Hewitt in this week to go there instead of McCarthy, and then get McCarthy and Butters next week. But again, just my opinion, mate, and monetary-wise, value-wise, it'd make more sense to wait on Hewitt. But if you look at potential points on field, I think it's worth the investment to get Hewitt in earlier, mate. But just my opinion, buddy. All the best, Jace. Burners. Oh, man, my throat. I'm getting crook. Trades this week look like Merrick and Cleary to Clark and Bont. Yeah, I'm doing the same. 25K. Also considering Carrot to McCarthy if named. I would just wait. Man, on McCarthy. Yeah, even if named, I'm guessing he's still all right with the buy. I would just hold on to Carroll and wait and see what McCarthy looks like, even if he's, named. And Hewitt, I think he's a fine selection if you want to go there, mate. Talked about him on the pod as well. Jacoda, hey, legends. This week I've traded Flynn, Levi, and Stone to Bont, Clark, and McCarthy. A lot of McCarthy love. Happy to grab McCarthy as 99K Rook with DPP as I think he plays. Cool. Leaves me with 10 trades and 400K. Next week, Lindsay at Flex, Nas, Carroll 99 Rook, Mraz to TDK, Hewitt, Butters. Mate, you've got that all worked out. Yep. Ned Long. I love Ned Long. Such a huge miss. Yeah, well done, man. That is absolutely fine. Yep, all good. And I'd probably be looking at your Butters, I think, out of those selections. Points dog. No real question. Just rate my team with 9 trades left. Okay. Damn, hard to say. All right, so I read it out for the people who can't, because if I can't, you can't. Whitfield, Dale, Rosie, Holmes, Wanganeen Miller, Fonte, and then Clark and Gray. Nice. Bond, Noah Coaster, Zeret, Dunkley, Dacos. Is that Real? Real, Sheasel, Shearer. Very nice. Then Nevitt, Hall, Huswaite. So Dead. Marshall and Sherry. Boyd, cool. Baz, Track. McRae, Warner, Rankin. Daniel, Gone in the flex if you don't mind. Jeez. Simpson Henderson. That's unreal, mate. 9 trades left. What do I rate it? Well, you've literally filled out your flex, dude. And got Daniel as your F6. Well, let's just say Rowan is your flex. Mate, you've got 1 upgrade to go. I'd say that's fantastic. 9 trades left, 1 upgrade. I don't know where your money's coming from. That's the only issue. It's got to be from maybe a Clark, Gray, Fonte, doesn't it? I'd give that a solid 8.5 to a 9 with 9 trades left. I think that's really good, mate. You've got your Bont, you've got your Sherry, you've got your Gawn, you've got your Whitfield. You need Jack Sinclair here, I think, and that would be fantastic. Although you do have Shees that could come back. Yeah, get your Butters or your Sinclair, and you are absolutely laughing. Dog, well done, mate. Are we getting to the end? Is that it? Oh, we are at show probably better just in case. If anything dodgy comes up here, please don't. Oh, cool. Lucky I did this because we would have missed Foulsy. Foulsy, how are you, mate? Evening, lads. Love your work. Thank you very much, man. Rate this start. Round 2, SPP to Kako. This isn't going to be a happy ending story, is it, man? Round 3, the horny man to Callahan. I don't even want to read this, man. Round 4, Corn to Zorko. And you paid up 1,000 to do that. To be ranked 60K, up inside the top 8K now, though. Which you're all coming back thinking of waiting on Bond. Oh, Foulsy. What I will say to you, mate, is that SPP after that first week was looking shocking. Horn Francis, I traded out. Gawn was looking shocking as well. Zorko was going 130, 135s every week. So I don't blame you in a way, but I rating it. Oh, I don't rate it very highly, but I'm not. That's nothing personal, mate. It's just bloody unlucky there, Foulsy. And the old sideways primo, sideways mid-pricer kills us every time, brother. But waiting on Bont, look, you could, but we talked a lot about him in the potty. For anyone that hasn't tuned into the potty, please make sure that you do. We have a really big discussion on Bont and have a tier rating and literally rate every player coming off the bye, every relevant player, the primos from Port, Carlton, Dogs, and which I should know which other team. Whichever other team, I can't even think at the moment, getting late now, had the bye. So we give all our ratings there, have a discussion about each player. All 3 of us give our opinions. So, yeah, make sure that you do check that out because a lot of Bont and a lot of Bulldogs discussion. That is it, everyone. Thank you very, very much. What do you have? 43 questions in the end. So, again, we do really appreciate all the questions, guys. We have decided, obviously, to keep this to a separate video just for those people that aren't as interested in the mailbag and just want the meat of the pod. We've decided to keep that separately. That way, that stays to around the 1.5 hour mark. And this is, hang on, switch the screen. What am I up to now? I can't even see how long I've been recording for. 50-odd minutes. So, all good. Bedtime for me. Stock market out hopefully tomorrow night, maybe Thursday morning, depending on how I go for time. Then the boys Thursday night will be there for the live team announcements. I'll do my final trades video, maybe a little strategy talk in that video as well. And then we'll be back to our Sunday live talk back where hopefully I'm celebrating instead of ranting and raving. So that is it for the mailbag for this week, guys. Thank you very much as always. Much love. Good luck. And we'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.